Hi, I'm Rosie. This is the video part of the application for the Snyder Foundation Scholarship. Um, a little bit about myself. I just finished my fourth semester at Kean University. I made the dean's list. I know it's not really part of this, but I thought it was a pretty big accomplishment for me. I worked really hard this semester, especially with the ongoing issue with the virus. Everything's at home, which made it a little bit hard. But I worked through it as most of us students do, and I really look forward to going back to school. I find that I work better in a classroom environment rather than a an online environment because as most of us do, we kind of put everything to the side, not really worry about it, and then you realize you have stuff to do, and I don't know, it was just a little bit chaotic. But I think that I've always been driven in terms of education. I think that I was always, even when I was little, I was really, really focused on my education, getting good grades, kind of staying active in the classroom, getting involved in school. Even when I was in first grade, second grade, I would always stay after school. I'd help teachers. I would clean the classroom. I would help other students if they were having trouble. So I think that education has always been kind of deep rooted in me, which is why I decided to do special education as my major, because I really want to be a part of not only typical students' growth and blossoming into the future student and future worker of America, but I would also really like to help special education students kind of figure out what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and how we can make those weaknesses into their strengths. And I really, really look forward to doing that in the next 2 years, 3 years after I graduate, and also during graduation when I do my internship for senior seminar. I really think that I'm going to be able to implement hands-on learning in a classroom environment. I think it's really important to work hands-on with whatever subject you're learning, because I think that it's easier to grasp not only for typical students but for special education students. It's really, really important that they get good hands-on learning, maybe art, videos. They can watch videos and kind of incorporating technology into that as well, because there are apps that have been developed to help them and help teachers and etc. So when I was little, I was really trying to develop my own leadership skills on my own, but I couldn't really have done that without my own educators. My middle school teachers and elementary school teachers really kind of shaped me and shaped the teacher that I want to be. I really want to be one of those teachers that's always there for their students, always willing to lend an extra hand and stay maybe even after school to help them if they really need the help. I want to be there. I want to be the kind of shoulder to cry on type teacher where I'll always be there for my students, and I really look forward to that after I graduate, as well as when I student teach. This scholarship itself, I would mean the world to me. I work really, really hard in school, just as everyone else in school does. I really try to stay on top of my grades. I really try to stay involved on campus and in campus life. And money. I don't want to have to worry about money, because it's just, as a college student, you're already stressed with the amount of work that you have to do, deadlines, as well as maintaining a good social life, which is pretty hard to do when you don't dorm, like I don't dorm. Pretty much just go to my classes and go home. But I think that the scholarship would kind of remove, not entirely, but remove partial stress away from the financial aspect of school, of going to college. And I only work part-time at a bagel place, so obviously that's not going to be able to pay for college in its entirety, so I might have to take out a loan. I really, really don't want to, because people get trapped in loans, and I don't want to have to spend like copious amounts of money on just paying back for my education. I know I have to. I'm probably going to have to, but I really want to kind of ease off on the stress of the financial burden of college, because college is expensive, and I knew that going in. But this foundation scholarship would really mean a lot in terms of kind of helping with the stress of paying for my own schooling. My parents, they do what they can in terms of, helping with supplies, but mainly it's out of my pocket, and I've been saving for years, because I've been working at that bagel place for 5+ years, so I've been saving this entire time for my education, because I really want to make the most out of it, and I don't think that not having money to pay for college should be a reason that students don't get an education. Same thing goes for high school. Some people have to pay for their high schools. Some people have to pay for their middle and elementary schools. I think that that's a really big problem, especially in this country where there's not enough education. And even in special education students, they're being denied education, and I think that's just not right. Nobody should be denied an education. And that was really instilled in me by my own educators, especially in high school. I had an English teacher, a sophomore English teacher, and she was also my humanities teacher in my senior year of high school. She really meant a lot to me. I would always stay after class. I would always stay after school, kind of talk to her. She really helped me figure out, what I want to do in life, and that's like the tell-all question: what are you going to be when you grow up? And it was really hard for a while. I wanted to go in medicine. I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be a pediatrician. I was all over the place. But I really think that the root of the majors that I was choosing has to do with helping people. And I've always loved to help people. I've always really been a leader, and I've always tried to build my own leadership roles based off of prior experiences. In middle school, everybody gets picked on, but I was bullied pretty bad, and I used that to, at the time it was really upsetting. I skipped school a lot, my grades tanked, and then I realized, why am I letting these kids ruin my own opportunities, and I'm letting them get to me. And I think that I use that to my advantage today, because why would I let outside forces such as money, why would I let that affect the person that I become? And I think that it should affect the person that you become, no matter the situation. I think that you can make the best out of a bad situation. And I think that's something that I want to instill in my own students is, if you're down in the dumps, if you're going through a really hard time, make the best out of a bad situation, and I'll always be there to, pick you up when you fall down. And I think that that's always what I've gotten from my own teachers. When I was bullied in middle school, I would stay after school with my art teacher, and we would paint, and we would talk, and she would really be she and art as well would be just really great outlets for me. And I think that I would love to be that type of outlet for my students, whether they're in special education or not. Even if I don't even have them as students, I would always love to be that outlet for students to kind of go to. And this scholarship would really help me a lot, because I won't have to worry as much as not being able to do that, because I might not be able to afford my senior year, and I really can't take on a loan. It's just not ideal. So I might have to kind of wait a year and then transfer my credits back to Kane. And I really don't want to do that. I really love Kane a lot. And yeah, I hope that I am considered for the scholarship. I know I ramble a lot, but it is what it is. So I hope that you all are staying safe during this time, and thank you for the opportunity.